Hey guys, Ed here, and this is my Friday pickup video. Now, I'm actually shooting this a few days early because I'm not going to have time to do it later in the week. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not going to be able to show you that I picked up today, tomorrow, and Friday, but whatever. There's still a ton here. It's really weird because last week I didn't get much. This week I've got an absolute ton. So I'm going to start with a couple of odds and ends that I picked up here and there, and then I'll move into a more organized sort of pickup video. So first things first, I picked up a couple of PlayStation games because they were, I think, $2 a piece, and I got them from the Goodwill in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. First one is Final Fantasy X on the PS2. It is complete. Not something I was going to play. I actually picked it up for my friend Eldon, but turns out he already has it, so it was a waste of time and money. Then I got Fear Effect for the PlayStation. You can't really see that because of the reflection. And it is complete with the manual and all 4 discs and all that good stuff. The discs are in really, really good condition, so I suppose it wasn't bad for $2. And the final one is Final Fantasy Tactics. Also complete. The disc is also in good condition. And I keep saying that I'm going to thin out my PlayStation collection, and then I see something like this and I buy it. So, I don't know, I'm confusing myself in that regard, but I really do need to get rid of some of the PlayStation games. I've got too many, and I'm never probably going to play most of them. I actually picked up a Rumble Pack for the Nintendo 64 for my son. He's been getting into the Nintendo 64 lately, so I figured I'd get him a Rumble Pack. I think it was $1, so he'll be able to enjoy the vibrations of getting hit in the face by things. Where am I going to go next? I will go to the Goodwill in Canton. Well, it's a Goodwill on 62 in Canton, Ohio. They have had a bunch of Sega Genesis games there for the longest time, and I haven't picked them up because I had them marked at $5. That color was eventually $1, and some of them had sold, but I picked up the rest of them. I picked up 2 that I'm going to use as usual for replacement cases, and that is these 2 here. I already have them complete. Actually, I've got like, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 of each of these that I've stolen cases from before. I run into those all the time. And then the rest of these, yeah, most of them are sports titles or games that I might not necessarily pick up, but they were $1, they're complete, and I didn't already own them. Jennifer Capriati Tennis, NBA All-Star Challenge, which I do have this loose, but I figured it's about time that I picked one up and kept it complete. Same thing with NBA Jam Tournament Edition. I've got 1 or 2 copies of this loose when I've stolen the case for them, so this one will be a complete. Toy Story for the Genesis, and the box is in absolutely crappy condition, but hey, what do you want for $1? Same thing with Taz, Escape from Mars. You can't really tell in the video here, but it's pretty faded. Looks like it might have been out at the flea market for a few weeks. Now this is one that I could have sworn that I had. I don't know, somebody is coming in and stealing my games, because I know I had this. Anyway, it is Miss Pac-Man, and I still haven't found Truxton. I want to know where my Truxton is. I'm pretty sure I didn't loan it out, but I have no idea where it's at. Mike Gardner. Another one I was kind of surprised I didn't have. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. And actually, I bought this one thinking that I had it, but I was going to buy it cheap and reuse the case, and I don't have it. And finally, a game called Pugsy. Yeah, this is a weird one. The only problem with this one, and again, it was $1, so I'm not too upset, is it has those stinking video time stickers on it. And check this out. Got the barcode sticker. You got 1, 2, 3 video time stickers on the top. Then you have one that's split in half on either side of the SEGA logo. Oops, I missed a blue label on the front here. And then you're not going to be able to tell that it is, but that property of video time is actually etched into the plastic. I swear to God, these people piss me off so bad. I would love to bump into one of the former owners of Video Time. Have a few words with them. Maybe shove a couple of Video Time stickers up their backsides. Alright, that was the Goodwill on 62 in Canton. Now, I went to the Exchange in Belden Village, Ohio, and which is in Canton. Belden Village is a village, I guess. But I went back there and picked up a few more Atari 2600 games for $2 each, or $2.50 each. There they are, the complete ones. You can see what they are. They are Combat, Ice Hockey, Boxing, Grand Prix, Enduro, Asteroids, had to have that one complete, Circus Atari, and then Super Breakout here is actually still factory sealed. I don't know if you can see that. So I have a factory sealed game. Yeah, again, they had a few more in, so I bought them. I don't ever see boxed Atari games cheap, so when I do, I tend to jump on them. Alright, then I went to the exchange in the one on Cleveland Avenue, the one that I've been talking about a lot lately, but they keep getting more and more stuff in. Well, I walked over to, one of the cases and noticed that they had rearranged it. I looked at the next one, they had rearranged that. They'd rearranged like several of the cases down along the floor. And in one of them, I happened to notice some Colecovision games and Atari 8-bit computer games. Well, everything they had put in that cabinet was $1. And I'm going to go through and show you what I found. First things first, I found some Colecovision games that I didn't have. I found Buck Rogers and the Planet of Zoom. Got that on a couple of other systems, but not on the ColecoVision. Looping, Omega Race, and Pepper 2. And these are all games that I did not already have. So, obviously, I'm very happy to have them. Then, I picked up these odd games. Now, I'm going to give you a second. If you can tell me what system that's from. Anybody know? I didn't think so. Nobody out there knows where these are from. If you look on top here, it says, you're not going to be able to see because I had to go back to my old camera, but APF. This is for the APF MP100 or the APF M1000, depending on whether you're looking at the box or the system itself. And these normally go for a pretty decent amount of money, even loose on eBay. So when I saw them there for $1, even though I don't yet have the system, I had to buy them. Obviously I got multiple ones because I said them. Blackjack, Baseball, Casino, Roulette, Keno, and Slots, Backgammon, and UFO, Sea Monsters, Break It Down, Rebuild, and Shoot with variations. Variations of a lot of games, apparently. Yeah, there were, what are these? There are 5 of these. They were sitting in there. They were $1 a piece. Even though I don't have the system, I know that I'm probably not going to see any of them in the wild ever again. I walked up front and asked them if they had the system. They said no. I will be checking back there at least once a week to make sure that the person that traded those in doesn't trade the system in, because I rarely see them. One popped up on eBay the day after I found these, and it just ended up going for too much money, especially considering that the person said it didn't work, so bummer there. Now, on to the, what is this? Commodore 64 games. First thing, I found another fast load cartridge. This is the Epix fast load cartridge for the Commodore 64. A game called Ducks Ahoy, and a game called Grid Runner. Then I found a couple of Atari soft games that I didn't already have. Pac-Man and Defender. Then I found some of the Commodore 64 branded games. Wizard of War, Gorf, Lazarian, Clowns. This is going to be a very scary game. This is not a game, but Magic Desk 1 and Omega Race. So, yeah, what is that there? That's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 games added to my Commodore 64 collection. I think I had 23 games, so I'm up to 34 games in cartridge form for the Commodore 64. In addition to the like 200 plus games I have on 5 1/4 floppy. And along with those, I found some Atari 8-bit games. Now, I only had 13 Atari 8-bit games to start with. So I essentially doubled my collection here, and I'll show you what I found. I'll start with the non-left cartridges. I got Lode Runner, River Raid, always happy to find another version of River Raid, Frogger, Crossfire, Mountain King, and I can't read this one. Journey to the Planets is what that one's called. Not that you can read it because it's faded really, really bad. Then on to the left cartridges here. Yeah, I'm not going to try to sort them out. The first one is Basic Computing Language, Basketball, Joust, or Birdass for those of you that watch Classic Game Room, Centipede, Pole Position, Moon Patrol, and I hear this is a really good port of it. I haven't played it yet. And Skyrider. So yeah, I had 13 before. I found 13 more, so 26. Doubled my collection in one stop. And then mixed in with these, and I will admit I grabbed this by mistake thinking it was a Commodore 64 cartridge because the board in it is the same size, but Pitfall. And it worked out okay. This is for the Intellivision because I apparently didn't have Pitfall for the Intellivision. Now, I bought those. They were all $1 a piece, like I told you. Well, I didn't have my list on me. So, since I wasn't sure, and they were only $1, I grabbed about 20 more. So I have a whole ton of extra games here. Now, some of them I actually switched out with the games that I already own, and they were just better copies of the games. They didn't have as much damage, whatever. So yeah, got a whole bunch of Atari 8-bit, Commodore 64, and a couple of Colecovision games that are now doubles. Oh wow, they were $1 a piece. Maybe I'll put them out in trade or sell the Atari 8-bit games off with my XE that I have sitting over there. Now, I was walking out and I happened to notice this game, and I am a sucker for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons games. And when I saw that they had Slayer for the 3DO, I absolutely could not pass up on this. Now, this is one of the few 3DO games I can remember them talking about when I was younger. And I remember them talking about it because they said it was the perfect video game edition of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And let me see if I can read to you here. This is what sold me on it when I was a kid, even though there was no way I was ever getting a 3DO. The randomized dungeon... I can't talk. See, again, that sleepiness. May I have a glass of water here? The randomized dungeon generator can create over 4 billion different dungeons. That's a new monster hunt every time you play. There are hundreds of different variations on the creatures in here. It has, well, every race and class at the time that was available in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the 2nd edition. And the idea that the game's going to be different every single time you play blew my mind when I was younger. So when I saw this sitting there, and I saw it sitting there for $5, yeah, I grabbed it. It's complete. The box is a little bit damaged, but I can't wait to pop this one in and try it. The only downside to this is it's single player only. God, if you could play multiplayer with this, it's got to be fantastic. And I was looking at the graphics on it. Those are actually pretty good. I don't know how well you'll be able to make it out since I don't have the auto-focusing camera hooked up, but pretty good, man. I can't wait to put that in and try it out. Alright, we got through all of that, and you think, wow, Ed, that was a really good pickup. I picked all that up in 2 days. So, yeah, a lot of stuff for 2 days. Now, yesterday, I was in Streetsboro, Ohio. And about 15 minutes down the road is Kent, Ohio. So I was on lunch, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to drive down there real quick to see what I find. Went through, checked through all the cases, and I found a couple of games here, which I'm going to show you. The first one was, what was this called? Whip Rush for the Genesis. And it's another shooter, which I'm very happy to have. It is complete. and it was $5. Then another game here called Starflight, also complete, also $5. And you gotta see the book in this thing. I mean, this literally is a book. It is about 3/8 of an inch thick. And the coolest part in here, they've got full color artwork in here. And it's really good full color artwork. And it's just pages and pages. Oops. Sorry. I have to start from back. Pages and pages. I hate it when you're trying to say something for effect and then what you're actually showing proves you're wrong. Where are they at here? There we go. Pages and pages. There's about 30 pages, something like that, of colored artwork in here. And like I said, some of them are really, really detailed and cool looking. My fingers are all in the way so you can't see. So, I don't know, man. I wish they still made manuals like this. That is a serious manual for a serious game. I have no idea what this is, but when I saw that manual, I had to get it. Then I found a SEGA Master System game in the case, and I took it out, and I went up to buy it, and the guy said, hey, you know, we actually just got a trade-in of a bunch of SEGA Master System games. Would you like to take a look at them? They had gotten them in that day. They had just finished pricing them, and the prices were $1, $2.50, $5, $10, $15 for all the different games. So I bought every single $1 game that they had. And then I bought a couple of the $5 games. The pricing was really weird because there were a couple that were pretty expensive, like 15, 20 bucks, and they were games that weren't that uncommon. So I'm not sure how they were looking them up or if they got the prices mixed up when they were pricing the games. Whatever, I don't care. I'll start off with the games that I bought for $1, and there's a lot of them. And I didn't buy them because I needed them for my collection. I bought them, some of them, because they'll replace games that I have printed up covers for. Some of them are complete, and the versions I had were missing the manual. And then the rest of them I'm just going to use the cases, you know, like I usually do. But hang on a Safari Hunt. Great Golf. Great Basketball. Great Baseball. Great Football. Are you seeing a theme here? Change it up. Pro Wrestling. It's still a theme, but different than what you were thinking. Joe Montana Football. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Action Fighter. Oops, I put this on top of the ones that I were going to save for later. Missile Defense 3D. Rocky. Enduro Race. Afterburner. Outrun. Zillion 2. And I'll save these two for last. Now I'll show you the three that I got that I did not yet have in my collection. Complete, Castle of Illusion. And then I found Paperboy and Montezuma's Revenge without the manuals. Oh well, still, I have two added to my collection. Now these two here, they weren't $1. They were a little bit more expensive, but they were nowhere near what they actually sell for. And when I say nowhere near, I mean not even half what they would normally sell for. Power Strike. It would figure that somebody would find a copy and send it to me just a couple of days before I actually find it in the wild. This was the one that was in the case, and I saw it sitting there, and it was 20 bucks. And this sells for, I don't know, like 60 bucks on eBay. So I absolutely had to buy it. And the reason I had to buy it, it's not because I'm greedy. It's because it was actually complete. It actually has the manual in it. And the one that OK Chief 420 sent me did not have the manual. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the manual out of this and put it in the one for OK Chief 420. And then I have somebody in mind for this one. So it will go to a good home, I assure you. Then, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. And I had to buy those, even though I already have them. How can you pass them up when they're sitting there and they're cheap? Is that it? Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. So I was getting ready to put all the games away, and I decided to open up and look at the Power Strike manual. Well, when I opened up the manual, out pops this. It is a receipt from the exchange in Solon, Ohio on Aurora Road, dated, you can't really see because the camera doesn't focus, but 2007. And that is the tag off the original game when it was sold in 2007, $60. I love finding stuff like that in here. And then of course I've got the credit card receipt with his number on it. Bad plan. So, I have 2 Power Strikes. I love being able to hold up 2 copies of a rare game like that, and you don't have one.